Hi, welcome to Impacting Success series, where we have engaging, empowering, and enlightening conversations with some of the most impactful individuals in our community. Today, we are talking with master networker Jacqueline Butler, who's also my co-host, by the way. I'm Robin Cash, and this is Jacqueline Butler. Jackie, welcome. I'm glad that we can be on here. I know we get a lot of questions regarding networking. How can I build my business? So, Jackie, tell us, what are your top 3 tips for networking and generating leads for your business?
Well, thanks so much for the question, Robin. It's great to be here. I'm so excited to get a chance to talk to agents, both new and old, about networking. So just a little bit about myself. I've been a realtor for 17 years. I also am a coach with BNI, and I help launch business networking international chapters, because in some of the professions, it's very, very difficult for people to get that seat.
Absolutely.
And one of those professions is realtors, mortgage lenders, financial advisors, etc. So what I do is I talk to motivated people who want to get their seat locked in, and then I help them build a chapter for themselves. Part of doing that is really about how to learn to network. And I would say that while there's lots of information online, there's really a few things that I think apply to everyone, no matter what their business is. And that is making sure that you are reaching out in a way that differentiates you from everyone else. And so I think that would be my top tip: of make yourself memorable and reach out to people in a way that shows them that you care and that differentiates you. A lot of times what I see is people online posting their business card, or like posting a question or commenting on a post. And I think while that's a great idea, it's really not enough to differentiate yourself. What you need to do is network one-on-one or in a small group with people. For example, calling people on the phone, asking to do a one-to-one with them, participating in networking groups where you actually get to go into a breakout room if it's on Zoom and talk to people and make a real personal connection. If you think about it, if I need a realtor to help a friend of mine, and I see one person's business card in a Facebook group versus meeting you, Robin, then who am I really going to choose to send to my friend? I'm obviously going to choose the person that I have a personal connection with. So while I think everything's important, and in these days and age, we really need to hit people with multiple different forms of communication. At the end of the day, there's nothing like a phone call, and there's nothing like a cup of coffee, or in this day and age, a cup of coffee on Zoom, right? So
there you
those
go.
would be my tips. I don't know if there was 3, but that is kind of the major overview of what I think works.
No, I think those are great. Those are absolutely great tips, because you're right. Relationships matter. And it's all about, the relationship. We're so into sell ourselves, and we forget about the relationship aspect, and then also constantly staying in front of them, because we're not going to always remember at the moment. So you do have to make sure you're maintaining those relationships with them. I think looking at a way that we can add value. So it makes us listen more. We got 2 ears, one mouth. So it makes us listen more. And I know when I'm in conversations with individuals, I'm listening for how can I add value to them? How can I add value? Because that's going to help further deepen my relationship with them and be of value.
I think that's so fantastic. And it makes me realize that one of the most important things you can do in terms of making people feel well or feel good about them and that you care is ask them questions about themselves, because like everyone knows, everyone loves to talk about themselves. I have a hard time not talking. I have to work on my listening skills sometimes, but I'm learning. And I think it's really important, have a couple of questions that you ask everyone, something that really ask them about their why. Like, why do you do the job that you do? What do you find exciting about your business? Ask the question, how can I help you in your business? Most
Yes.
people never hear that question. How can I help you in your business? And you will get a good answer. And then you have to remember it and follow up.
So, and I would also add to that, you and I both, we have a long history. We both have run networking organizations, and that's actually how we met and
Right.
came together. And so we understand each other and we have the more extroverted personality. So, what about that person who's an introvert? They are the ones who may have a difficult time. And my advice to the introvert is, one, you have to learn to become a functioning extrovert, meaning you're introvert, but you have to learn to function because you have to get out there. You're not going to get any business just being quiet. And if you just spend some time and get really clear on how you may be able to add value, what is it that you do or how you may be able to add value, and just rehearse that. And then, like I said, when you come from a standpoint, one of my favorite books is The Go-Giver. And it's all about, being of service to someone else. And in return, I think it was Harvey Mackay said, I can't remember, if you give enough people what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And it's the same concept in Bob Berg's The Go-Giver book as well, being of service, and that will help you grow your business. So I think if you are an introvert, then when you approach with the mind of how can I help your business grow, then I think it really kind of helps and, tones down the anxiety that they may have. You have any other suggestions?
Oh, for the introvert, I actually am married to an introvert. So I always have lots of suggestions for him.
I'm not.
Of course.
We're both extroverts.
Of course. Well, that's rare. So I think that would not work well for me. But I think it's really important because one of the things we have to remember is everyone communicates differently. And some people are quick to be impulsive and chatty and like really can work a crowd and not feel any anxiety about walking in a room and talking to people. My husband also often says to me, if we're at Disney or we're at the grocery store, wherever, he says, I don't know, you can make a friend in line. And I'm like, well, I'm standing there. I may as well have a conversation. That's just me. But not everybody's like me and you. I would say for introverts, my biggest advice would be, well, I think there would be two things. I would say find somebody that you can practice with so that you help lower that anxiety of having a conversation with people that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. I think one of the best ways to have a conversation is, like we said before, ask them questions, because then you're not really on the spot, but you can ask them questions so that it kind of helps you talk. But another great thing would be, a lot of times people ask me like, well, where do I find people to network with? And I'm like, guess what? The world's full of them. They're on Zoom, they're at the grocery store, they're here. But for people who are anxious, I would say find something that you love. If it's animals, if it's race cars, if it's, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like coffee, I don't know. And find a meetup group or find somewhere else where you can go and you have a passion for that topic. And that way you're going to automatically connect with other people. And then as the conversation goes along, inevitably, most people say, what do you do for a living?
Yes.
And then you can say, I'm a realtor, or I'm a finance officer, or I'm a mortgage lender, or whatever you do. But that way you're not starting in like the whole it's business. There's actually like a personal connection if it's something that you love and that they're there for the same reason.
Yes.
So I would say for introverts, that's super important because they're going to be much more comfortable talking about running or pets or whatever their passion may be. And then the conversation can later lead to business.
No, I think those are great tips. So I'm going to just kind of summarize, we've said a lot and we've given some great tips. So if you need to go back and replay this, write things down, do so. But I think in summary, what we're saying is, one, offer value, be of service to someone else. How can you help them grow their business? And then two, if you're, honor who you are. Honor how you network. Don't try to be someone else. I'm an extrovert. You may not network like me, if you're an introvert. So honor who you are. And then, like you said, find something that you're passionate about. You're doing an event, this weekend, right? Where you're going to be with animals. You love animals. And so it's a great place to network and meet people in an environment that, you're doing something, you're being of service, and it's something that you enjoy. And so I think those are kind of the tips. And then practice, practice with, your speech. Some people, I'm like you. I can make a friend and talk to anybody anywhere, but that's not everybody. And it
Right.
does make you feel a lot more comfortable if you do practice, even if it's in front of the mirror or on video, on Zoom, however you need to do it, just, practice so you're more comfortable.
Right.
So,
Right.
any
Yeah, I think those
other
are 3 great tips. And I think that it's, it's just about finding a way that makes you comfortable. We all have something to offer, and we all can ask questions of others and find a way for us to help. And really, the truth is, if you go in with a spirit of help, then it's going to come back to you. It's the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, however you want to phrase it. It comes down to that. And if you really care about the person you're talking to, they will find value in you, and you will find value in them, and it will be a good relationship. So you mentioned the event I'm doing. I just want to advertise that. So this weekend I'm at Pineville Lake Park here in Pineville, North Carolina. Paws in the Park is a charity that helps animals, especially Charlotte black dogs, help get adopted and not be euthanized. So anyone who's in the Charlotte area, please come out and talk to us at Paws in the Park and look for my table.
All right, great.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And
Bye-bye.
we will look forward to seeing you guys. So stay tuned for our upcoming interviews with some of our power players in the community. Make sure you like our videos, click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these inspirational conversations. And we will see you at another time.
Thanks, Robin. Bye.
Bye.